Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Life of Kessages, your baby girl Josephine Kenichi. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for sticking. I hope you're enjoying it here. I really hope you're enjoying it here. If you just stumbled on this channel for the very first time, I hope you stay. I hope you enjoy it here. Click that subscribe button and become part of the family already. Of course, share this video to your friends and family. You know, when you see your mommy next time you get the chance to see your mom, go and hug her and give her a peck, because motherhood is just the ghetto. And the truth of the matter is that most of us, especially new moms, first time moms, nobody gave us the cheat code on how it is going to be or what to expect. Some of us that are like first daughters and everything, we kind of had some kind of first hand experience when it came to being a parent, sort of, because okay, you were there when your mommy gave birth to your younger ones. You saw one or two things, how to change nappies, to carry your younger ones, to feed them at some point and all that. You had one or two experience. I had the privilege to watch my younger ones grow, so I thought I had the cheat code. The thing that we did not see while our parents were raising our younger ones was the mental stress they were going through. The mental stress your mom was going through, let me be specific. The mental stress your mom was going through, what exactly was in her head, and all that. So, last week I talked about postpartum depression, how I conquered postpartum depression, and one of my friends came to tell me that are you really sure that you've conquered postpartum depression? And that got me thinking, because if I'm being totally sincere, I don't think I've totally conquered postpartum depression, because once or twice I still have anxiety, I still get scared, because one of my fear in life is not to just bring my kid to the world, but to be there to raise my kid. Being someone that my mom was not really there in my life per se, and the struggles I had to face at some point, I would not want that for any of my children. I still face anxiety with me having money for myself and for my children, me trying to create something that is going to necessarily give me money to be able to afford certain things for my children. Yes, my husband is around, my husband is capable at some point, but he cannot carry all the load. And I want to be able to go to that supermarket and see one beautiful clothes for my child and just bring out the money without blinking. I want to be able to see something. I want to be able to give my children a certain kind of life. I want to wake up in the morning and tell my kids that okay, dress up, we're going to that park, without having to necessarily always rely on my husband to provide that money. Whether he can provide it at the time, because he might have some projects, or he cannot, I should be able to do that for my kids. So those things give me anxiety. I get worried. Sometimes I am sleeping and I just wake up and I'm personally watching my child and making sure that he's breathing. I get I I have a lot of things, like I still sit down and cry every once in a while. It happened to me yesterday. My son was being cranky. Yesterday was Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms in the house. My son was being all cranky. Sometimes he's all bloom and sweet and all, and some days he's just cranky. And the truth of the matter is that you may not even know what is making him cranky. I checked his diaper. I had to even change diaper up to two, 3 times. I had to pour in water at some point. At some point, I even got tired of trying to to nurse him, that I just left him to cry. And then I started feeling mom guilt afterwards. Like I was no longer happy with myself that I had to do that, because If there's one thing I have always told myself, is that I want to be intentional about raising my children. I want to be the caring mother. I want to be the one that when my baby cries, I will go and pick him up. I don't want to be one of those moms that, yes, they've told us that if you carry your child immediately it cries, it's going to have the perception, is going to have a wrong perception about life, and is always going to want to be dependent on you. But I don't see what is wrong with that. I don't see the reason why I should see my child crying for long, and then I cannot go and pick him up. And sometimes I want to even do that. I want to just teach him that, okay, you necessarily need to be independent, but when he cries for a while, only me will just stop whatever it is I'm doing and go and pick him up. And the truth of the matter is that these people that are telling you that if your child is crying and then you go and pick him up, so and so thing will not happen, or so and so thing will not happen. These are people that raised their children up decades ago. This is the method that worked for them. These days children are different. That is one thing we necessarily need to understand. The children of nowadays, these millennial children, these Gen Z children, these corona children, they are different. Their psychological makeup is different. So my son necessarily is drawn to me, and my husband is competing with that drawness. And I'm not as if I'm competing with him or anything, but I want my baby to grow up knowing that whenever he needs anything, mommy is going to be there. That is the kind of intention intentionality I want to grow my children with. I want them to know that mommy is always here. And I need to train them from start, from when they are kids, to know that mommy will always be here no matter what they are going through. No matter what life brings at them, mommy will always be here. Because children, they have always told us that a child's brain is a tabula rasa. So whatever you put inside is what the child is going to grow up with. So if you put in I don't care, your child is going to grow up to know that you don't care. And these children pick up things very easily. You would think that a 1 month old child is not hearing you. Think again. As bizarre as it may seem, or as it may sound, when my baby was in my womb, from the very get-go, I knew that this baby was a boy from the get-go. I'm going to drop that video very soon, how we got pregnant and the travails we went through to get pregnant. So I knew my baby was a boy already. And I think sometimes when I'm having some sort of first trimester symptoms and all that, I'll still drop my trimester journey. I will call the dad and I'll tell the dad, speak to your child. And when he talks to my, it may seem as if it doesn't make sense, but it was what was working for me. It happened and it worked. So I don't know, you may try it, and but I will tell my husband, talk to your child. And my husband, I don't know what he's even talking. I'll just put the phone on loudspeaker, put the phone on my belly, and he will just talk. After talking, and we'll cut call. I kid you not, 2 3 times that thing happened. My baby would just stop whatever he was doing and just give me peace, and I would dress up and go to work. There was a day I had a client. I had to speak to my baby that, guy, you need to behave. There was even another day said that I had a job, a makeup job. I was 4 or 5 months pregnant then, 3 4 5 months pregnant, and I was having anxiety that okay. Because I was having symptoms that when I wake up in the morning, I'm tired and everything. And this is a job that I know that I needed to wake up early to fulfill. And so I was scared. This lady had paid me the money like months ago, and I could not vomit this money because I've spent it. So I basically had to tell my child that, guy, you have to cooperate with me. Oh, this is the whole thing. I was talking to him, and the next day The day of the wedding, in fact, I couldn't even sleep that night because I was just up. We woke up by 4, started our makeup, and I made 3 other persons up after the bride. I now made myself up, dressed up, and went for that wedding. I did not feel anything. It was later that night that I felt sick. But what I'm basically saying that I had the strength throughout the day. So if a child in the belly can hear what you're saying, if a child in the belly can behave, how much more a 1 month old or a 2 month old? I mean, they know what you're doing, they are saying, they are getting it. So if you fill their head with I don't care, they're going to grow up with I don't care, and it's going to come back to you because there'll be a point that they'll fill your house. The kids, they're going to be there everywhere, they're going to be there. You'll hear the noises, you will see the laundry, you're going to be overwhelmed. It is overwhelming. It is overwhelming for me right now as I'm even talking, but as I'm encouraging you, I'm also encouraging myself. So there's a point that you're going to get to, and everything will just be silent. You wake up in the morning, there will not be giri 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 giri. Ah, let us make indomie. Ah, school run. It will not be there. You just wake up and they are gone. Otilo. They have all gone to their different specs of life. And it starts from when they enter secondary school. When they enter secondary school, just know that they are still going. They're still going. So the only thing that is going to keep that connection is what you've built from the start. So I won't necessarily just want to be intentional about things now. My baby will cry. I know it's stressful. I know I'm stressed. I know I'm tired. But I'll go and pick him up. But another thing too is, as much as we want to be caring moms, we also want to be safe moms. What do I mean by that? Now, there are lots of states you'll be in that you cannot accommodate taking care of your child at that time. Like there was a particular day that I didn't sleep throughout the day, throughout the night, the next day to the afternoon, and then my baby was cranky. My baby was just, it was crying. I was just trying hard to breathe in and breathe out. Then all of a sudden, I didn't know when I just keep quiet, keep quiet. My 2 month old, I still feel that guilt till today. But I was grateful that it was wearing pampers, so the spanking will not touch his body. But my intentions is what make gets to me every time. The intention was to flog him to keep quiet. That was my intention. So I was not a safe mom as at that time. I needed a break. I needed to sleep. I needed to just hand him up to somebody and go and get that sleep. I needed it. But there was nobody around. So I had to necessarily be doing all that. I was having a headache. I was fatigued. I was tired. I was everything. So sometimes, too, as much as we want to be caring moms, as much as we want to teach our children that okay, this is the way it should be, you want to be safe. So there are days that my baby is crying. I know I am not a safe mom as at that time. I know. So I'm going. What I do is I keep him in a safe place. If he's inside his rocker, I will drop him there. Then go to the room, try to lay my head, even if it's for 15 minutes, so that I can think better. So I don't go and injure my child. I don't go and do something drastic and then something I'm going to regret in life. So I try to calm down and think, breathe in, relax. I let him cry. Sometimes I keep him in the parlor. I come to the room and come and just relax because almost every time it's just me and him that is at home. So I just have to do those things to help regulate myself. After that, I come back to being the good mom that I am. I try not to let his, because it's not his fault. The fact that he's crying or he's being cranky is not his fault. It is how it is feeling. So I will try to understand that and put myself in his shoe. It's not also easy for them. I mean, you just wake up, you eat, then you sleep. Sometimes put some drama, put some jiggy jiggy, so that everywhere will be heated up. It's not easy for them either. You just lie down on your back sometimes, then they put you sometimes to sit down, then you know it's not easy. It is it's in their own world, it is stressful, so you try to understand where they are coming from, but do it being safe. As I was talking about postpartum depression, I came on YouTube and then I saw one lady talking about postpartum psychosis. And I didn't really know that there was a word like that. That is a higher form of postpartum depression. That's where you hear that a woman killed herself after giving birth. That's where you hear that a woman killed her child. So those diagnoses are things you necessarily need to find out how. Sometimes I feel like you need people around you when you just give birth, because you don't just know how the thing is going to pan. From my own story, since I said I'm going to post that, I should know that, okay, since I prayed for this child, these things should not happen to me. But you have no hold on it, because when I was saying that, oh, I'm not going to be caught up by postpartum depression, I thought that it was a physical thing. I thought it was a physical thing. And then I woke up one day, I found out that it's not just physical, it is mental. So it is a lot. And yes, it's not as if when you just go through small stress after giving birth, that means you faced postpartum depression. No, postpartum is deeper than that. You will not even know what you're doing at some point. Some persons don't connect with their children after giving birth because of the drop in hormones and everything that their body is going through as at the time. Some persons will question their their decision to be moms. Some persons will even take it out on their husbands and say stuffs. That's why some marriages break up after children. Children changes everything. Immediately a child comes in, things are bound to change, and we're not ready for how it is going to come, how those changes will come. So it takes a toll. It's a lot. So you and your spouse just necessarily need to know how to handle things that come to you after childbirth, because there's going to be a lot. Like um since I gave birth through till now, we've been co-sleeping with our child. So my baby is on the bed with me, and most times I'm like, okay, I enjoy it. I enjoy the fact that he's around. I don't necessarily need to go to his cot to know if he's sleeping well or not. I just need to stand up and check his net to be sure that everything is fine. And sometimes in the night when he wakes up, I just easily pull him to myself and breastfeed him and all that. So I I enjoy it. But then, is it interesting having to co-sleep with your child? It's not really interesting. It is interesting, but it's going to put a strain between your relationship with your husband, because those things, those naughty things you guys do at night may not come because you are cuddling your child instead of cuddling your husband. You are breastfeeding your child, because my baby just breastfeeds every 2 hours during the night, and yeah, it takes a toll on the relationship and all that. So but we are thriving, we are enjoying the process, we are surviving the process. And so by God's grace, I will get him his court and he'll be there. Co-sleeping is not really easy, but will I do co-sleeping again with my next child? Definitely. I enjoy it. And my husband will just find a way to be creative about those other activities that may come along the way. So basically, this video was just to talk about everything in between. There was really no direction for this video per se. I just wanted to have this chat with you. Someone actually asked me for my skincare routine that will be coming. I was supposed to do that today, but because we're talking of Mother's Day, I just had to go down this road because motherhood is interesting. It's something people pray for. My mommy works in a fertility clinic, and she talks about how people pay millions. There was this couple said that had to sell their house just so that they can have a child, and then that procedure failed. So even before I got married, I just always knew that having a child was a blessing. I just didn't know this part of motherhood, but I'm very grateful for the experience, and definitely for my second child, I know that I'll be more aware about these things. That is why sometimes I try to talk about them so that most persons will know about it, because I feel like in this part of the world, women don't talk about these things. I wanted to talk about my CS journey, and people were telling me, don't talk about it, this, that. It was a lot. I decided to bring it out here because I would be selfish and ungrateful for me not to talk about it. Going through that process alone, it was God, and I would not be doing God justice if I don't talk about it, if I don't talk about what He did for me. I did not go to any church to give any testimony. So this is my way of telling people that either ways, CS, vaginal birth is perfect. Your baby is fine, yeah? You're good, okay? Then you have no problem. For my second child, I might even just voluntarily go for CS, because so if you've seen this video to this point, you're the true MVP. Thanks for sticking. Of course, give this video a thumbs up so that the algorithm will see and recommend this video to other persons. Then like and share this video. Then subscribe to the channel. Become a family member already. Please support my hustle. And of course, I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.